So can we start?
Yes, Sakshi, we can start. Go ahead.
Good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of the Moot Court Committee, Hilsa School of Law, Jamia Hamdard, I welcome you all to the valedictory ceremony of the first Intra Moot Court competition. Over the past 3 days, we witnessed 12 teams giving their best. However, as we all know, since this is a competition, there will always be a winners and runners. So, but at the end of the day, we must remember the only one thing that matters is what you learn from it. With this, I request Professor Dr. Salina Bashir, Dean School of Law, Jamia Hamdard, to please deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Sakshi. On behalf of Honorable Chancellor Dinab Mohammad sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor of Sharia sir, Professor Manoj Kumar Sinha, Director Indian Law Institute, Assistant Professor Burhan, Coordinators of Moot Court Committee, my dear faculty members and students, good evening and a warm welcome. Dear Professor Sinha, your presence is a moment of great pride and pleasure for our law school. It's an immensely exciting evening for our law school, and your presence makes it more elegant. Thank you, sir, for being here. I extend hearty welcome on behalf of Jamia Hamdard. It was a flagship event of our college, the journey which we embarked on 2 days before. It's our first intra-moot competition, and we are officially in the valedictory ceremony of that. Since it was our first event, we had a lot of challenges. It's an historic event also. Burhan and the Moot Court team managed and had to face a lot of challenges, starting from drafting the problem, finding the judges, and whatnot. Like, it's only with your wisdom and patience we are in this successful moment. So I congratulate all the students who have participated in this. Winning and losing, as we always say, it's a matter of, it's nothing actually. What I believe you have learned a lot of advocacy skills, all the important principles of advocacy. And I wish all my participants great success. And thank you, my dear Moot Court Committee members and Burhan for making this event successful. Once again, welcoming Professor Sinha on behalf of Jamia Hamdard. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful words. Now I request Janvi to proceed further.
Thank you, Sakshi. We are honored to have with us today Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha as our chief guest for this ceremony. Professor Sinha did his LLB from University of Delhi and LLM from the University of Nottingham. And his doctorate is in international law from Jawaharlal Nehru University. Prior joining to the Indian Law Institute, he was teaching at the West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences as professors of law. At present, Professor Sinha is serving as the director in the Indian Law Institute. I request sir to kindly address the gathering. Sir, you are on mute.
So thank you very much, Janvi. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. M. Afsar Alam, Professor Salina K. Rashid, your new Dean, School of Law, Jamia Hamdard, Professor Burhan Masjid, and all the young scholars, participants, and students. It's indeed a great pleasure, and I'm very happy that I have been asked to come here and share some of my ideas on the importance of the moot court. I'm sure as this is the beginning, what Professor Basir has just mentioned, this is the first intra-moot court competition which has been introduced with the help of the colleagues of the department. And in today's time, it's a great thing for the students. Particularly students are like going all parts of the countries in participating moot court competition. So one of the events which generally all law school students take very seriously, and that is very important. It has lot of advantages in the participation of moot court competition. But what we are missing, and which is like you have Professor Basir, you have taken care of uh, the idea to have regular intra moot court competition will be like so that will allow each student to participate. And when you look into the bar council also in the schedule 2, so we involve, so like we see in law colleges, so section 24 of the schedule 2 of the bar council, it talks about the moot court and internship, though it's not followed in the law colleges, including many law colleges, and where there is a number allocated for the each student in participation in the moot court. Actually 30 marks for the moot court in one of the clinical paper in the moot court. So 30 marks is there. So each student has to participate. So, but what we see in the maybe luckily you have a small batch, one batch I believe, and maybe two batch you have 120, 60 students currently, you can have more 120 students. So there is a possibility of the involvement of the students in the moot court is much higher compared to the University of Delhi, which has 3,000 students. So there are some problems like is there. As an interesting fact, like if we take you to the history of the moot court, if I take you back to the history of the moot court, so it started actually when there was no system of the legal education or university system in the 16th centuries in England. It was the Inns of Court. They have started in 1560. The Inns of Court, young students have to stay there. There is no classroom. The participation in the, and they were supervised under the seniors for the 3 years, and there are rules and regulations. So initially, moot court was the main way when there was no regular classes or other classroom in 16th centuries in England, and that is how. And in fact, when the university system has come, what happened ultimately, what we see, most of the people say when we talk about the moot court, it's basically, it's become, which is considered as a poor cousin of the law school, poor cousin of the moot court, like that is the major saying, on activity with which no one wishes to dispense, but with which most faculty members would rather not be bothered. So some way is the problem in the law schools also, because it demands a lot of exercise, like as Professor Basir has mentioned, and I know that your problem I have seen, which is more or less what we have undergone in the starting with it to 2019, and the more dates and everything. So like, you have also mentioned a disclaimer. So entire journey for last 2 years, starting from 2019 onwards, you have reflected on the petition, but it's very important how court can go. So there are a lot of things, I'm sure those who participated in the intra-moot court were familiar. We got a chance to make themselves familiar with the constitutional principles, fundamental rights, whether it will be applicable, also Disaster Management Act, and a special emergency provisions. So a lot of things that this particular problem has given you an opportunity. And also, I'm sure that you have a strong case law on the right to health, which you might have got a chance to learn. So this is the so there is a two way of learning. One is the surface learning, and second is the deep learning. So moot court somewhere is the deeper learning. Like moot court, you go to and dig up all the cases in the classes or something, generally surface like one time. But moot court, the team which are part of the moot court, it dig up all the cases, laws, everything. So it's a much deeper exercise, not in the surface. It's a deeper exercise, and that is very important in the moot court. So any initiative, like, so I have seen the problem and I found it's very interesting, and it's very same way you have ensured that it may not create a huge problem for the students in the searching the material. So a common sense can also help in the arguing for the both sides in the so this problem is very balanced. Sometimes also we see in the drafting of a moot court problem, you have to take note, it's equal, it should be both for the both parties should have equal opportunity. And sometimes you see cases very tilted. In one side it's a very strong, you have a case law, you have a statute, you have everything on one side, and other side you find that's very difficult. So it's very uneven. So it's very, so here while drafting the moot court problem, the teacher has to take a responsibility that no other, it's equal. So everyone will have an opportunity to discuss and learn more on the things. If I say what are the benefits of the moot court competition, there are three key features of the meeting. So as a student, what you have got today, you assume the role of advocate as a student. The first, as a students, assume the roles of advocate before a simulated bench or fake bench, like a fake bench is there, but you become advocate, you start arguing. So the moment you argue, what happened? It takes you to the removal of the fear in the public speaking. So when you in the legal profession, so you are playing a role of the state, advocate before a fictitious, court, which is not the original court, but where judges are brilliant judge or dumb judge, bench depends upon, but you are arguing. So arguing before anything, when you start in the early year of your career, always give. So it takes you a removal of fear. Public stage, we are very good. Many students are very good, but all students have to be participate, and they learn this particular. And it also develops your skill, developing a good skill. So you learn in how to research and other things, you learn that one. So first thing, I just said, then when you become an advocate, you argue points of law. You don't argue anything sir, I'm in the first year, my name is there. So you start arguing the points of law before the bench, which arise from a hypothetical problem. So this problem is a hypothetical problem. So you start arguing before a court. So you are advocate, but you take it very seriously. So you have to find out so you learn the substantive law. In the process, what you have done, you have learned substantive law, which is there. The third, you are also expected, the third as advocate, you are also expected to be able to answer questions from the bench. So they're sometimes questions are there, and that particularly you have to answer. The three important points in a particular participation in the moot court. The first, you play a role of advocate. After once you are advocate, you have to argue the points of law before the court, and you prepare yourself. You can answer the questions which are raised by the honorable judges who sits before you. So that is another important feature of there. It's also experiential learning. So you you are supervised by the teacher, but teacher is not always there with you. In the classroom, you go there, you sit there and there. But in the moot court problem, you are independent, more or less. You start working with a team. You go in the library, and sometimes the best way in the law school, it moot clinical teacher or moot court teacher should guide and supervise you. That's all. So experiential learning through the working, doing something. So you go in the library, you search yourself, you become familiar with the books, you become familiar with the case laws, you become familiar. Those who participated today, I'm sure they are aware of number of the important cases related with the public interest litigation, related with the cases which appeared in the Supreme Court has taken. I believe that we might have taken the cases which Supreme Court has taken 2 times, one on the April month in the April regarding the distribution of vaccine, and then last year in 2020 also in month of June in the about the disposal of dead body and admission related to the. So both 2 cases Supreme Court has taken suo moto in the in 2 years, in 2020 and 2021. You might have, and rest of the cases, if I say, you might have discussed about the Paschim Bankhet Mazdoor Vincent case, then Paschim Premanand Katara case, series of cases where you have a strong right to hail jurisprudence is there, and of course the other provisions. So otherwise we don't go and read. You have a classroom, your constitution, your teacher has come and taught you the public interest litigation, you have marked up and you answered your question. Here, it's not so. In the moot court, it gives you. That's the reason I think you go in much deeper in the moot court exercise when you participate in the classes. And that when you participate, it's basically mooting can involve more as a practices of culture, practices of the culture than just oral quote presentation. So what is the culture? You say practices of the culture. It allows you legal research, formation of a case plan. So like when you do research skill, so it's allow you legal research, formation of a case plan, writing of briefs. So memorial, you start writing memorial, writing of briefs, and of course problem solving. So you have and that leads to the skills which are relevant to the moot court. So like the entire moot court, if you see what you are doing, you are not writing in a question 5 questions in 3 hours. You for 10 days or 15 days, depending upon time, you involve in the legal research first. You draw a plan, how I'll go, what are the points of formation of a case plan. You according to the problem, you start thinking about the other parties, what the other parties will argue. You write a brief, which is a researched one, very detailed, and of course the problem solving is there. So in entire process, you have developed a skill is there. So if I say before you start, so you as a participating, so you participated, you are not marked solely upon the accuracy of the law. So like today, when you participated in the moot court, it's not. So sometimes we have wrong notion also, the moment you argue. So there is a possibility which we have seen many times. Many students from the national law schools, they are very sound in the speaking, public speaking. They put their point very strongly, but it depends upon the bench. If bench is aware about the case, or bench has also read that particular case, if they start putting a case questions, then there is a possibility of losing confidence and then settle. So that's the reason we always say that the student must go deeper and then prepare themselves to any questions directly or indirectly related to the problem which you have to answer there. So what is the important? So when you argue, it's not only sole on the how you making presentation. You use authorities. In the case law, you see the authorities and to support your argument. That is the important. You say, okay, I have authorities. Okay, what is the basis? What is the authority? Like bench asks generally. Then you say, okay, my lord, you look into the page number, the memorial page, footnote 15, 16. So citing of authorities is very important. Then you also learn in the process that organizing the material, working individually and collectively in a team. So that you as a team, you work in the moot court competition. And then you prepare yourself how to respond to the questions, if at all, if bench raises. So if I take to the next stage, so ultimately moot court. So it's a very serious and important exercise. What I have said in the beginning, that you go in the 16th centuries, moot court was the way to be practiced in the Inns of Court earlier days. It was not the regular court. Now the law school has come. So moot court is very important exercise which needs to be taken seriously. Unfortunately, it's a student-centered activity. If I say, so each law colleges have their own moot court society where is student, but somewhere moot court society is selecting the team to participate in the outside, not the within the campus. So if I take you to the Bar Council rule regulation, which says that student will be given 30 marks on the participation of the moot court, it means, it implies or it indicates that each student should participate in during the moot court and internship. So 30 marks you will get on the participation of the moot court. And which I will suggest the Professor Wasir and Professor Budhan, the moot court exercise is important thing. It should start early. So if the first year you start in the second, in England generally the 13 weeks. I read somewhere they say 13 weeks. After 13 weeks means 3 months. After 3 to 4 months they start initiating a student in the moot court practices. 13 to 14. So first year itself. And what they do in the intra moot court, they ask each student to participate. But they don't give longer duration. They say 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So if we start with the limited time in the initial stage or initial year, the first year. So idea is in intra moot court competition or moot court competition, their fear should go away. All students have become competent to speak in the publicly because they are in the legal profession. But the moment in the first year you ask for a problem and big, so problem should be very small, and each student in the class for 5 to 6 minutes may be allowed to speak. So that is the model they follow in Australia and England and other places, 5 to 10 minutes. And gradually when they go to the third year, that is the peak. In the third year, they are prepared to participate in the larger outside the moot court competition. So when the students become second year or third year, so you have prepared the students and you have identified some of the students are very brilliant, good speakers, good researchers, and they represent the team outside of the university. So that is also, you can't send everyone, that is not possible, but you want everyone to learn, everyone to speak. You are concerned as a dean, you are concerned as a teacher, everybody should have faith on himself or herself that he can at least speak for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. He may or he may not, or she may not get a chance to participate in the moot court outside, but a platform has been given where he or she has been exposed to speak in public platform within his friend or colleagues in the classroom or some kind of setup. So moot court has that idea basically. There will be always a distinction, like, not everybody will be good, but everybody has some opportunity to learn and skill. That is the way we have to do. See, because those who become very serious, for everyone, is also fostering lifelong skills. The entire exercise, like, it looks very small today, but those who participated very seriously, they have developed interest, and it has been found, it has been noticed in the United States and other places, which we hardly see here in India. Then, or maybe in some cases we see. Then, as you are not aware, in the second year or third year, you have interest in the environmental law, or you have interest in the trade law, or you have interest in IP law. So you find it's very easy for me to understand environment law problem quickly. So you have that kind of spark in you which attracts that particular subject. So like somebody is like very good in the constitution, so that. But the moment you participate in the moot court, you may develop interest a specific subject because you have worked very hard, and it has been found and it has been established participation in Philip Jessup moot court competition. So Philip Jessup moot court, that is the biggest competition in the world on the Philip Jessup moot court competition. So when the students participated, and it has been found, the students, a team which participated in many cases, students have developed interest in the public international law. They realize that they have a spark, they have interest in the international law, or international criminal law, or international trade law, or international environmental law, and that has changed. So there's a possibility. The moment, so like you have that particular skill. So participates in life learning process entire, then it also develops your great communication skills. When you participate, a communication skills is there. It also, second important part. So the first important part, which I say the first is a life learning process. It's a skill development which you learn, your communication skill will enhance. Second important part, we say, it provides an opportunity to learn from your seniors and also develop group skills. So when you work together, group culture, it also provides a kind of opportunity where you learn from your senior, you interact with your teachers, you interact with the librarian. So it gives you group work kind of environment. Moot, the third important point, which I see that benefits of the mooting is, it empowerment. There are three important points of the third part: empowerment, accomplishment, and also confirmation of vocation. So you develop, I'm one whether lawyer or something. So you so you first, the more you participate, you see the change, empowerment. It the gives, I have something is there. You feel accomplished when you go into, and also some way confirmation of vocation. Okay, researcher, I can be a good researcher. So third important point is, these are the hidden. You don't know, but the moment you participate, you continue to participate, you learn on there. And the last part, which I see when you participate in the moot court, and there is a phrase which says, what says, eating, sleeping, drinking, breathing, moot shows how absorbed in the task a student can become. So the moment you participate in the moot, you always think about the moot, whether you खाने के समय में, सोने के समय में, बात करने में, you always start thinking about the moot problem. So when you are participating in the moot court, nothing else. You think only till you complete your finally appear before the moot court. So the moment you selected, like you are selected in a team, your entire thing is eating, sleeping, drinking, everything is related to the moot court. So that is very important and fundamental, change you will see when you start participating. And I'm sure that wonderful initiative has been taken by your deans, madam, and also by the Burhan and all the colleagues of the law faculty. And you students have shown deep interest in this exercise. I'm sure that days to come, Jamia Hamdard University will also be make its presence felt to the other law colleges in our university, that we are there to compete and we are there to win the moot court competition. With this, I wish all of you all the best for today and also for the future. Those who have participated, as I said in the beginning, that not necessarily only some team will win, but you all have won. So you have to think about some gets medal, some without medal, but the participation itself is winning the moot court competition. So thank you very much and all the best. Over to you, Selena. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much. Our students are really blessed, sir, with your words.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening and encouraging us with your words. Now, the most awaited moment has arrived. We will begin with the prize distribution ceremony. It's time to acknowledge the hard work and the sleepless nights that the teams have put in. I congratulate all the teams who participated so enthusiastically in this competition and made it a success. To begin with, I request Professor Dr. Salina Bashir, Dean, School of Law, to announce the team with the best memorial.
Yeah, the best memorial is for Team Code M, consisting of Uzma Fatima, Simona Kashan, and Mahid Siddiqui. So my admirations, my congrats.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving on, I request Burhan Majid, Faculty Convener of Moot Court Committee, to announce the best mooter.
Thank you, Sakshi. Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to announce the best mooter of the competition. And the prize goes to Rehan Ghalib Khan from Team Code K. Congratulations, Rehan.
Thank you, sir.
Can we see you? Are you there?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
No wonder. One of the most hardworking student of us. He has won many other titles also, has participated in some other competitions also, and I won few other titles also.
Yeah, he's doing quite well.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I now request you to announce the second runners-up team.
The second runner-up goes to Team Code R, consisting of Mihir Suneja, Bhavya Pahuja, and Mahin Siddiqui. Congratulations to all.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Professor Dr. Salina Bashir, Dean, School of Law, to announce the runner-up team.
Yes, it's the Team Code K with Rehan Khalid, Shumaila, and Shivansh Baby. Rehan, Shumaila, and Shivansh, congrats. I think there was some issue relating to the citation style or something. Maybe before for that you might have come second, you know. And the judge, you had a very tough time, you know, with the judges were asking very tough questions. Congrats, Rehan, Shumaila, and Shivansh.
Congratulations. But as they say in cricket, they're runners, not losers.
Yeah. They are not wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, for the last but the most awaited award of the evening, I request Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha to announce the winners of the competition.
So thank you very much, Tushar. And with great happiness and immense pleasure, I'm announcing the name of the team, winning team. Team code G, consisting of Muzaki, Sahila, and Daksha. So congratulations to all of you, Muzaki, Sahila, and Daksha.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Congratulations.
Okay, congrats. Congrats.
Can we have a round of applause for them? And
Yes,
others too, of course.
So I have to
Thank you so much, sir.
learning, hard work, sleepless nights. Alhamdulillah. May God bless you, my dear students. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I congratulate all the prize winners and all the participants. It was a wonderful competition. But as all good things must come to an end, I request Amal Sheikh to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. A very good evening to everyone present here. On behalf of Moot Committee, Hamdard Institute of Legal Studies and Research, I, Amal Sheikh, deem it a great honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. At first, I would like to thank Janab Hamad Ahmad, Chancellor of Jamia Hamdard, and Professor Dr. M. Afshar Alam, Vice Chancellor of Jamia Hamdard, for their constant support and guidance in improving the legal standards at Hilsa. Next, I would like to thank Professor Salina Bashir, whose leadership has been indispensable towards the success of this competition. I extend my gratitude to our chief guest, Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha, Director of Indian Law Institute, for sparing his valuable time and being with us this evening. I also thank faculty convener Mr. Burhan Majid for upholding our spirits whilst planning, organizing, and scheduling the program. It was a systematized and successful competition, and it couldn't have been successful without your efforts, sir. To our student conveners, Sakshi Singh and Tushar Batra, who have put in weeks of hard work and effort into making this competition as perfect as possible. We have been fortunate enough to be supported by an organizing team who are dedicated to their jobs and are results-oriented. I would like to thank all the judges for taking out time for judging our students and imparting their valuable views and knowledge, and to our participants for mooting passionately, thus making it a great experience for all of us. And lastly, to everyone present and watching this live, we thank you for joining the ceremony. While the competition has reached its end, the wisdom gained is sure to leave its imprint on our professional lives that will help us improve our experiences in the field. Once again, we thank you all for being with us this evening. Goodbye.
So thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, and then Wooden, thank you, Tasu, everyone.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
so
sir.
much for your time.
Be with us, sir. Be with us. We need your
Definitely, thank
continuous
you.
guidance. Yes,
Thank you.